Planning a Second Wedding, episode number 161.
So we've had a show on renewing vows, which is not the same as planning a second wedding. This means you're getting remarried to somebody else. Just to make that clear. If you have a minute, will you please pause and subscribe to the show? Take a screenshot and share that with your friends. Also, don't forget we have a new Facebook group called From Ring to Veil Wedding Planning Community. We would love for you to join us over there and just do some community communing.
Ask us questions. Talk to the other people in there. Ask questions and advice. Look at our tips that we give you. And share. Like every once in a while, we'll say, hey, let me see your wedding shoes. I want a picture of the wedding shoes. I love shoes. So show them to me.
Join us over there. We need to share with you about our first sponsor of the show.
We have a new sponsor
called Manly Bands. They're wedding bands for men and some for women. They even have some thinner ones to choose from if you don't want a thicker manly type.
They have all kinds. They're inlaid with different materials and colors.
They are at an affordable price. All of them are less than $200. When you go to the website, they have the coolest thing. You can choose a ring that matches your personality. I love it. They have the adventurer, the entrepreneur, or even a creative.
They have amazing customer service and free exchanges in the U.S. and a 30-day we got you bro return policy.
Many of the bands even include a 1-year no-hassle warranty. How nice is that?
They have over 1,200 5-star reviews. So you know Manly Bands is the way to go.
We both got sample rings, and I wore mine. And they're super comfortable. These do have some weight to them, but they're not super heavy. They have those soft, rounded edges so they don't poke into you and cut your skin.
So go to fromringtoveil.com/MB and use the code FRTV to get 15% off any Manly band.
That's from ringtoveil.com/MB.
We never get married expecting the marriage not to work. Your hope and dreams that this marriage is going to last. And sometimes they do. And sometimes they don't.
That's right. Sometimes you find yourself getting remarried to the love of your life.
So now you're set here, you're getting married again, and you have to plan this wedding. So here are some tips.
Right. So first and foremost, if you have children, tell them first, no matter what their age is. You need to let your children know first, because if you don't, it can cause problems and issues down the line.
Budgeting is also very important. Since you'll most likely each have a mortgage, you each maybe have kids, some may be in college, some may be school aged, you have all these expenses. So budgeting is a major thing in this planning this wedding, and then planning your marriage too.
That's right. Figuring out all the logistics of everything. It's okay to wear white or red or blue. I wouldn't wear black, but it's totally up to you.
Gray, silver, gold, anything you want.
That's right. White is okay though. White is okay.
Yes. But the veil, on the other hand, is not. You don't need a veil getting married the second time because a veil stands for purity and being untouched, which nowadays is kind of a rarity. But anyway, even in your first marriage.
Yeah. It's very unusual for second marriages and a veil. It's just kind of frowned upon.
Flowers in your hair. You need a sparkly comb, sparkly pin,
tiara,
anything.
headband. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything like that.
When it comes to traditions and interests, go with the ones that suit you. If you don't want to do the garter toss and bouquet toss, don't. If you don't want to have your father walk you down the aisle, don't. I mean,
by then you're an independent person, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
And your father, if you've been married before, he's not giving you away.
That's right.
So be an independent person.
But if he's still in your life, you guys are very close, and you talk to each other and you want to do that, it's okay too. It's just totally up to you what traditions you want to go with on this second wedding.
But you can also have a traditional, untraditional, non-traditional, any kind of traditional.
Issional.
Issional. Any traditional wedding. And you could also throw a surprise wedding. Just say, hey, we're getting married today. Come to a barbecue.
That's right. I think that would be super fun, especially for a second wedding. Don't talk about the past or what's gone wrong. Focus on the now and the future together. Don't bring up in your vows any past people or what went wrong. And this time I'm going to do this. Don't go there.
That.
Don't go there.
Yeah. Involve your kids. Make them be in your wedding.
Yeah. You're going to be my wedding. Because sometimes you have to.
Yeah. But
sometimes you have to make them go out to eat with you. I mean, that's the way it is.
That's what we're having to deal with right now. Anyway, let them stand up for you. Make them your maid of honor, your best man, your bridesmaids, your groomsmen. If they're old enough, they can greet guests, they can hand out programs, they can attend the guest book, be an usher. You can include them in your vows. Like, if you each have kids and you're bringing both of them into this marriage, you can have a vow for them to say that, what I'm going to do for you and vow to you to make this a happy family.
Give them a ring or bracelet or some kind of a symbol. You're exchanging rings with each other, which is the symbol of your love and all that stuff. But, don't leave them out. Give them a little something too. Let them help you plan. Take them cake tasting. I mean, that's fun. I mean, I'd like to do that now just to do it.
If they're small, they can be ring bearers or flower girls. And if they're, if the kids, make them create a special non-alcoholic drink that they can have during the reception. I
think that would be super fun. How nice would that be? If your parents let you create a signature drink. I mean, don't let them get crazy with it. Because kids will,
don't make them the suicide Coke drinks or anything like that. Because, that's gross.
I'm sure my son, that's what he'd buy. A little Dr. Pepper, a little Coke. Anyway. Create first look moments, even with your whole family if you want. You can have the kids see the mom, the bride, and things like that. Just create some first look moments.
Celebrate this wedding as if it was your first. This is another happy moment. You're ecstatic at this moment. It's the love of your life.
You'll need a divorce decree or a death certificate to file for a new marriage license. So make sure that you have those when you go to file for your marriage license.
And all counties and states are different, so make sure you read up on the marriage laws in your state or county.
That's right.
You deserve and should take a honeymoon.
Period. Away from the kids, if you have kids.
Yes.
Take some time for just yourself.
Even if it's just a week by yourselves and then the kids come and join you later. Maybe you're at a great resort in the Bahamas, like say Atlantis, and they have lots of kid activities. You can bring the kids a week later and have a big family togetherness vacation.
That's right. You should include the kids in the wedding ceremony, but not necessarily the honeymoon. They're two different reasons.
Give you at least a week by yourself.
That's right. I mean, at the very least a weekend, but
yeah.
Premarital counseling is highly recommended. I know this is your second wedding and you've gone through it before, but each and every marriage is different and brings its own issues, and talking about them and getting things settled before getting married is highly recommended.
Premarital counseling for your first wedding is highly recommended.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because it's difficult, believe me. Okay. The maid of honor still has the same responsibilities as well as the regular wedding party. as your first marriage, your maid of honor has the same responsibilities. You have a bachelorette party, maybe. I wouldn't necessarily want to go to a bachelorette party on my second marriage. I don't know. But at least because you're older and, you know,
things are different.
All the debauchery with your bachelorette party. I don't know. But the showers, everything, all of their responsibilities are the same.
Right. The dresses.
As well as your bridesmaids. Right.
All that kind of stuff. The bridal shower is perfectly fine. It may be more of a non-traditional style, though. Maybe you're not getting everything to replenish your kitchen. Maybe you're just getting things that will be meaningful for the both of you to support each of your hobbies and, you know, things like that. So it's a little bit different than the first time, but you can still have one.
And if you're having a bridal shower, you can register for things just like your first wedding. But don't expect people to give you gifts on your second wedding. Because sometimes they're like, you have everything. Why do you need anything more? But I would say, I'm getting married. I want a gift. I'm sorry.
Yeah, put
I'm
that
getting
on
married.
your invitation.
I'm getting married again. I need gifts. But anyway.
Oh. Well, yeah, but don't expect it, of course. And if you are registering, you might check out the second sponsor of this show.
Zola.com.
If you go to zola.com/FRTV, you can get a $50 credit towards your registry. We've talked about them before. You know we love them.
Zola Registry has everything that you love about your favorite department store, plus things like honeymoon funds, fitness classes, wine subscriptions, and so much more.
Right. And it's free and it's easy to use. How nice would that have been? And how fun would that have been to just be able to go to a website like Zola?
And click instead of going around with that little gun everywhere.
Yeah.
Or the person trailing behind you with a piece of paper because, you know, back then.
Right.
It's less stressful and very much more enjoyable.
That's right. They have group gifting. It's a feature that lets multiple guests contribute to a big gift. You know, like you pick something big and let's say somebody can't afford the whole thing, but they can put money towards it and somebody else can put money towards it. I love that.
You can also personalize your registry with photos and notes about what you really need, what you want. And it also has a free suite of wedding planning tools, including free websites.
That is one of the number one reasons why you would want to do this is that free wedding website, because it keeps it all combined right there for you. There's your registry, there's your website. People can log on, get everything. And they can do it from their phone. They can do it from their PC. Awesome. So to sign up and to receive your $50 credit, you have to go to zola.com/FRTV.
That's Zola, ZOLA.com/FRTV.
Something that's very important is to figure out the legal stuff. The prenups, name changes, previous marriages are settled, divorces are done, all that. Figure out all the legal stuff. I mean, you may or may not want to change your names because you have kids and things like that. You just need to figure all that out before the wedding.
Second marriages for the bride, she should use her legal name on the invitation instead of her maiden name. So if you didn't change back to your maiden name after you got divorced, you need to use that name on your invitation.
Okay, and we talked about this already, but having your dad walk you down the aisle for a second time is completely fine as long as you're both comfortable doing it. You may ask your dad and he may be like, yeah, I don't know about that. And if he doesn't, you can have somebody else that is very special to you walk you down the aisle. And it's not necessarily to give you away, but just for support.
Have your mom and dad.
Yeah. Your kids. I mean, whomever's special to you. You might want to walk by yourself.
You need to make this wedding completely different than the first. Don't redo your first wedding because that's just wrong.
That's
right. Even though it might have been the grandest wedding ever, don't redo it.
Make it unique and fun. And of course you change after a few years, you know. You might not want the same thing anyway, but don't try to emulate it. When it comes to the reception, really do it however you want. I mean, there's no rules. There's no, you have to have a floral arrangement on every table and you have to cut the cake. And I mean, like, just make it your own. Do it however you want to.
You are probably aware, but your parents aren't required to pay for anything, but they may want to add a little bit of moolah to your fund. You know, just say, hey, buy the wedding dress on my dime.
And let them.
And then everything else is your responsibility because you're grown. You're an adult.
You're adulting. Right. Mm-hmm. So if they want to, let them. I mean, I was given a piece of advice from a client that I had many years ago, and she said, if your parents ever want to pay for something and offer to pay for something, let them do it. It gives them great joy to do so. And so I have always tried to live by that. And so I tell as many people as I can that if your parents want to pay for something, let them do it. Just let them do it. It makes them happy. So there you go. Those are our tips for planning your second wedding.
And if you are having a second wedding, we would love to hear from you. Say, hey, this is what I'm doing, or we did this, or we're doing this. And we would love to hear from you. So if you would like to contact us, leave us a comment, ask us a question, please email us at info@formingtovel.com or message us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all social media everywhere.
All the places.
We're there, except for Snapchat.
That's right. Oh, subscribe to the podcast. We are anywhere and everywhere that you listen to podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and Spotify, which has become one of my favorite places to listen to podcasts. So if you can't find us, let us know.
And until next time, no stress, no worries. Keep calm and listen on. Thank you for listening to our podcast. You can find us on Facebook, From Ring to Veil, on Twitter, @From Ring to Veil, and on our website, FromRingToVeil.com.
Music provided by bensound.com.